And so Sarah Palin, on a stage and under circumstances that might have caused another rookie politician on the national stage knees to knock, comes out here and wows these delegates with a speech that lasted a little bit beyond the 11 o'clock hour in the East that it was expected to conclude. But you can see by the person on that stage that while she may be a rookie, this is no rookie politician. She delivered her speech, it is fair to say, with a sense of poise and with a knack for timing that appeared to be the mark of an old pro. And you see her there on the stage now, fully comfortable in the element, obviously before thundering supporters who were predisposed to like her for sure, but nonetheless, under circumstances it might have been daunting to others. She seemed to love every second of it. And here come members of her family. Senator McCain is in the hall and is expected to make an appearance and join her shortly. She introduced her family in the early going. There were some rather sweet pictures of her sons and daughters and of her little child, their latest little child, Trig, who she holds in her arms now. He, of course, is a Down syndrome baby, so adorable and sweet in the way those children always are. But she did not refrain or hold back in any way from comments about Barack Obama. I guess a small-town mayor, she said, is sort of like a community organizer, except that you have actual responsibilities. Oh, how the crowd loved that. Here's a little news flash, she said, for all those reporters and commentators. I'm not going to Washington to seek their good opinion. I'm going to Washington to serve the people of this country. Americans expect us to go to Washington for the right reasons and not just to mingle with the right people. And here now comes the nominee himself.
Thank you. Don't you think we made the right choice for the next Vice President of the United States? And what a beautiful family.
Candidate in certain years is to unite the party and unite the convention. You can certainly see tonight that Sarah Palin has served the cause of uniting this convention quite ably. One presumes, although it's impossible to say with perfect certitude, that she has had the same effect on the party, and she certainly has galvanized elements of the party and behind McCain, particularly in the conservative wing of the party, which had not been so enthusiastic for him before. Of course, the other test, or one of the other key tests, is whether the person appears ready to be President of the United States in a heartbeat. And it's impossible to tell from a couple of speeches, but speaking and voting is what politicians often do, and speak and vote and decide. It seems clear that she's able to speak. No doubt about that tonight. Senator McCain continues to enjoy this moment to bask in the applause of this crowd for his running mate and for himself and for her family. Let me bring in my panel here, which has been with me watching the speech throughout the evening. Fred Barnes, executive editor of the Weekly Standard, Nina Easton, Washington bureau chief of Fortune magazine, Bill Kristol, editor of the Weekly Standard, and Mort Kondracki, executive editor of Roll Call, Fox News contributors all. First to you, Mort, what did you think of this speech?
Simply brilliant. It was a brilliantly written speech, and she delivered it as well as it could possibly be delivered, I think. As you say, with poise. It was I mean, she didn't write it, of course, but it was written by Matt Scully, who's a gifted speechwriter, but nonetheless, it's her speech, and it was incredibly sophisticated and effective. It was derisive of Barack Obama in a sort of a funny way, but a very pointed way about his lack of experience and about her experiences as a mayor. You quoted the business about her statement about being a community organizer, except you have responsibilities. But she also nailed him for talking one way about working people in Scranton behind their backs, and another way in San Francisco. And it was also sophisticated in that she showed that she has some understanding of geopolitics, the geopolitics of energy about the situation. The Abqaiq oil facility in Saudi Arabia. So take that to the media when they question her about leaders of the world.
Bill Kristol, your thoughts?
That was terrific. It's going to be very hard for Senator McCain to top this tomorrow night, but he doesn't really, I'm sure he's not worrying about that. And I think you could see the genuine, I think, elation when he said, I guess we made the right choice, didn't we? And I'm sure he enjoyed this night very much, having spent the last 4 or 5 days being second-guessed by some Republican insiders and by the entire liberal media. How much
do you think this speech, how far is this speech, or how far can this speech go to dispel some of this frenzy that we've seen about her?
I think it was, since it was based on almost nothing, it was self-generated by the media. I think it was about to collapse, and this, I think, will do it in for a while. Now she'll obviously go out on the campaign trail and give interviews and have good days, I suppose, and less good days. But boy, I'll say an awful lot of Republicans who might have been wavering and nervous, I think, now feel pretty good about the McCain-Palin ticket.
Nina, as I was standing here, as somebody who's called upon occasionally myself to go out on a stage or even a television news set and speak on a big night, I'm always a little nervous, a little edgy. Sometimes I worry that my knees will knock or my teeth will chatter. I have to say that for her to be doing this in this setting, in the middle of this maelstrom for the first time, the poise itself was kind of remarkable, I thought.
Oh, yeah, and she ate it up.